Here on New York Knicks Now, we're trying to get to 10,000 subscribers. We are just under 1,000 away. And if you're one of the 8,900 subs on the channel, I want you to type me in the comment section right now. And if you're not subscribed, make sure you change that. Hit that big red button because we put out videos every single day on the latest New York Knicks news and rumors. So if you love the Knicks and you're looking for another place to get Knicks content, go down right now, hit that big red button. What's going on, Knicks fans? You're watching New York Knicks Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Marshall Green. And in today's show, we're going to take a look at 4 New York Knicks trade targets. 4 people I think the Knicks should go out and make a call and see if they're on the market and what it would take for the Knicks to land one of these 4 players. I think it's key to understand that the Knicks have a whole bunch of assets to use in the coming years in a trade if they want to. They have 4 first-round picks in 2023. Some of those are protected, so if they roll over, they roll over into 2024, whereas of right now, the Knicks have 1 first-round pick. They got 2 first-round picks in 2025, so that's 7 first-round picks over the next 3 seasons and 11 first-round picks in the next 7 years. And in that next 11 years, they also, or 7 years, excuse me, they have 11 second-round picks, so 22 picks over the next 7 years. I can tell you this right now. The Knicks will not make all of those picks. The Knicks won't have 2020 or 22 draftees over the next 7 years. So a trade needs to happen because look, when you look at this roster right now, it's loaded. RJ Barrett's going to be your starting small forward. Jalen Brunson's going to be your point guard. Mitchell Robinson at center. Julius Randle at power forward. And I am projecting that Quentin Grimes will be the starting 2 guard for the New York Knicks. Ian Begley reported that there could be a change in the backcourt compared to last year, and it sounds like Fournier is the guy that's heading to the bench. When you speak of the bench, you got Emmanuel Quickley, Derrick Rose, Cam Reddish, Evan Fournier, Taj Gibson just got released. We're just getting word in. We're filming this as that happened, so ignore the graphic. And you also got Isaiah Hartenstein, and you got Jericho Sims and Obi Toppin. That's a lot of players that have to play minutes off of the bench. So it sounds like to me the Knicks are going to make a trade where they package some players together and get 1 player in return to make this rotation 1 less person deep where all the young players can eat. Speaking of young players, there's a lot on this roster. 10 players on this roster under 25 years old. The Knicks have made it clear. They have a direction they're going. Youth and assets. They are tooling up to make a move when a move presents itself. In my opinion, the Knicks have to make a move with 10 players under the age of 25, and the log jam you have in the backcourt of Derrick Rose, Emmanuel Quickley, Jalen Brunson, RJ Barrett, Quentin Grimes, Cam Reddish, everyone needs to play. And there's not enough minutes for everybody to go out there and get the necessary minutes. They need to continue to evolve and grow and mature and, blossom into the player that they're supposed to be. And Leon Rose knows that. Tom Thibodeau knows that. They know they need to make a trade because right now there's 13 players on the roster, and the Knicks and Tom Thibodeau, they like to run the 8-man and 9-man rotation. So a trade, in my opinion, seems imminent. It's going to happen. Multiple players in exchange for 1 player. Who's it going to be? I don't know. We'll show you 4 guys I think they should target in a second. But first, if you just want the Knicks to make a trade, I want you to like this video because the offseason, it's always more fun when your team's wheeling and dealing like the New York Knicks were on day 1 of free agency. So if you want to see the Knicks make a trade as soon as possible, I want you to go like this video right now. Trade target number 1, and probably the best player on this list, and the player I know the New York Knicks want to go out and trade for is OG Anunoby, one of the best 3-and-D players in the NBA. He's currently on the Toronto Raptors, and there's been some trade rumors surrounding Anunoby. A report came out prior to free agency via Jake Fisher, a Bleacher Report, that said he has grown a little bit frustrated with his role, with Pascal Siakam, Scotty Barnes, and Fred VanVleet being the primary ball handlers on this team. So could he, be traded in the next couple of days? We'll break it down, but first let's look at the type of player that he is and what he did in the 2021 campaign where he had his best season of his young NBA career. 17 points per night, 5 rebounds, a steal and a half per game, an efficient as efficient of a player in the NBA. 44% from the field, 36% from three. Doesn't have to have the ball in his hands to be effective. Can spot up, can work off down screens and ball screens to get open on the perimeter. Could be a catch-and-shoot player. Will also be being able to create his own shot. I think he'd fit perfectly next to a backcourt of Jalen Brunson and R.J. Barrett. Slide him at the 3 with Randall at the 4 and Mitchell Robinson at the 5. I think that's a playoff caliber team and one that can contend in the Eastern Conference. But what would a trade look like? It's going to cost a lot to get OG, someone that has a lot of promise and a player that some people in the Toronto Raptors front office and Yasai Majiri is very, very high on. So it's going to take a lot. And I'm not even sure if this is enough to land him. Fournier, Reddish, and 2 future first-round picks. It may take a pick swap or 2. Those might have to be unprotected picks. It's going to take a lot. It costs to be the boss, and if you want to go trade for OG, it's going to cost some cheddar. So I'll ask you this question. Would you make this trade if you're Leon Rose, giving up Fournier, Reddish, and 2 first-round picks? I think Fournier is kind of canceled out with OG. Then you got to sweeten the deal with Reddish and 2 future firsts. I don't know if it's enough, but let me know. Type A for accept or D for decline. What about another wing that can put the ball on the deck, stretch the court out, and play a little bit of defense, and one that has championship experience? And that's Harrison Barnes, who won some rings with the Golden State Warriors, and now he's on the Sacramento Kings. Last year, he was great. 16.5 points per game, 47% from the field, 39% from 3. The biggest areas I feel like the Knicks are lacking are 3-point shooting and on-ball perimeter defense. And that is what Harrison Barnes would add to this team. He also is a veteran that can continue to coach up a young guy like R.J. Barrett or Quentin Grimes or Obi Toppin if you're able to keep those pieces in a trade for him. I don't think it would be too expensive to trade for Barnes. The Kings, they're rebuilding. They're just trying to grab as many future assets as they can. And I think if you can get Harrison Barnes for a deal that involves Derrick Rose, Cam Reddish, and maybe a future first-round pick, I think that's fair for both teams. It would suck to see Derrick Rose go. But in my opinion, if he got traded to the Kings, he would be bought out and then would be able to choose a team. Whatever team he wanted to go sign with. And at this point, Derrick Rose deserves that. He needs to go play for a contender. So you trade him to the Kings. He gets bought out because he's on a 1-year deal worth $14 million. And you add Cam Reddish, a little Reddish sweetener, and a first-round draft pick. The Knicks, they get Harrison Barnes, a guy that can give you 15 points per night from the small forward, can play a little small ball power forward, and he can help coach the young guys because he's been there and done that when it comes to hoisting the Larry O.B. But once again, I want Knicks fans to chime in the comment section. Let me know, who do you think would actually be the winner of this trade? Would it be the Knicks? Would it be the Kings? Type NYK for the New York Knicks or SAC for the Sacramento Kings. Another player I'd like to see the Knicks go out and target as a potential trade piece or a guy that they can get in return. What about Luke Kennard, one of the best three-point shooters in the NBA? Last year shot 45% from the field as well as 45% from 3. When he gets hot, watch out because he can get hot in a hurry and also give you a little bit of spunk on the defensive end. And that's what I think the Knicks are lacking. And the reason I think that he could be a trade piece for the Los Angeles Clippers is because they have a bunch of bodies playing at the wing. You got Nick Batum, obviously. Paul George and Kawhi Leonard are coming back this year. Robert Covington. You also got to give minutes to a guy like Terrence Mann who continues to excel. Norman Powell. So Powell, Mann, Covington, as well as Kennard and Nick Batum. There's not that many spots at the wing spot for the Clippers to play. So what if the Knicks make a call for Luke Kennard out to the City of Angels? His contract looks like this. $14.5 million left in the 2022 upcoming season, $15.5 million in 2023, and then as a team option in the 2024 and 2025 season. Maybe you make a trade where it's like Evan Fournier, Cam Reddish, and a first-round pick. Or maybe you want to throw in Quentin Grimes instead of Cam Reddish. I know a lot of people are Reddish fans on this show, so I don't want to include him in every trade. But he's a trade piece because he has potential. I just don't know if he'll ever fulfill that with the New York Knicks. I love to see Kennard play for the Knicks. He's a shooter. He's a grinder. He's a winner. And he's another lefty the New York Knicks could add to this lefty-filled lineup. Last guy. What about Kelly Oubre, as some people like to call him, 30K Oubre? Another lefty. The Knicks, all these guys as you see on screen right now, are 3-and-D wings because that's what the New York Knicks need. They need another guy that can guard on the perimeter. Kelly Oubre can do that. They need another guy that can shoot from three. Oubre's done that. Not as consistent as I would like through his young NBA career after coming out of Kansas, from Fort Bend, Richmond, Texas, grew up in Louisiana. I saw him play in high school. He was our high school rival. The Harrison twins went to my school. He went to the rival school. It was always crazy, a good game to see. I've always liked Kelly Oubre's game, and I think he'd fit on this young Knicks roster because they need more people that can guard on the perimeter. They need players that are good in the fast break. Kelly Oubre can do that. They also need guys that can convert when the ball is dished out to them on the three-point line. So we'll take a look at these 4 trade targets once again. It's the last one on the sheet, Trace. And I'll ask you, which one of these guys do you want the Knicks to trade for? If you think it's OG Anunoby, you can go down and type OG for OG Anunoby. We got that on screen for you now. Type HB for Harrison Barnes. Type LK for Luke Kennard. Or you can go down and type KO for Kelly Oubre. I want all Knicks fans to light up the comment section right now and choose one of these guys you want to see the Knicks trade for. One more time, OG for OG Anunoby, HB for Harrison Barnes, LK for Luke Kennard, the sniper, or KO for 30K Kelly Oubre. Also this, we got news while we were filming this. We're going to put this video out on Saturday. We recorded it on Friday because, look, I got to have some days off. But Taj Gibson has been released by the New York Knicks and will sign a contract with the Washington Wizards. So that ends his tenure with the Knicks. And I want to give a salute to Taj Gibson. He's been a warrior. He's battled. He's been a leader. He's been a vet. Everything we could have asked for Taj Gibson when he was with the New York Knicks, he's delivered. So I want all Knicks fans and everyone a part of New York Knicks Nation to show Taj Gibson some love right now. Type 67, the jersey number he wore with the New York Knicks. The New York City kid that got to play with the Knicks. I want you to type 67 to show Taj Gibson some love.